Hey guys, Ravenclaw here, and today I thought I would bring you guys an add-on guide. Something that a few people have asked me already, and so I thought, yeah, why not? Just let you guys in on what I use. It's nothing really special, it's just I only really use maybe 5 or 6 different add-ons to help me with what I do. Now, these add-ons I only use for PvP because I don't PvE at all. But yeah, let's get into it. Add-ons. Okay, the first one I use is Bartender. And Bartender simply allows you to customize your action bars and your UI and whatnot. Up here you'll get a, around the map, you'll get a icon that if you left click, it'll allow you to move the bars that you have enabled. You can move them wherever you want, set them all up. Obviously this is the layout I like to choose. As you can see, Bartender allows you to customize the bars so that you don't have any borders, or you can remove the text, so your macro descriptions and whatnot. It just makes it a nice cleaner look. If you right click on the tab, it'll bring up the settings for it. So you can enable more bars. You can go in here, make the bars do whatever you really want. So you can see to hide the macro text. It's very customizable. And you notice when I'm out of combat, my action bars disappear. And that's because I've set it so out of combat, it'll hide. If I tick it, it'll come back. Another good one here is if you don't want to hide out of combat, you select this one, click through. And what that does, it makes the bar sort of invisible in a sense, so that way you don't, if you're, out and about and something happens, you don't accidentally move a spell out of your bar and, mess things up like that. Other than that, you can see that I've changed my micro bar down here, make it nice and small so it's out of the way. I've changed the bag. So if you go to bags, you can see one bag, or you can have all the bags, whatever you want to do. I've only got one, and it just makes for a cleaner UI. This is the way I like to play. Some people say it could be a bit messy, but I just like it. The next one in my add-ons list is Battleground targets, and the Battleground targets you might have seen in my Battlegrounds games is the ones that sit here. So if we go here, this one here. Now this is customizable again. You can do whatever you want for the different comps. If you run an RBGs, I'm sure you would have been told to get this. You can do whatever you want. You can click on 10v10, make it you can have the realm showing. You can have whoever the leader is. It shows you the cooldown of their trinkets, who has the flag, who you've targeted. So if you click on a target, it'll show you who the target is. You can whatever you really need, you can do with this simple add-on. It's nothing special. It just is what it is, really. You can, if you right-click on one of them, it'll show you, or I think if you just click on it, it'll set a focus. It's pretty handy. The next one is Gladiatorlosa. And this is a simple add-on that allows speech in arena or PvP situation. Now you're saying to yourself, speech? What do you mean? Well, let's say, for example, you're in an arena and there's a healer that's just ducked out of sight to get a drink off. It'll actually tell you that person's drinking. Have you ever used a GPS and that lady or guy comes up and goes, "Turn, next left"? That's basically what it sounds like. It's telling you when cooldowns are up or cooldowns have just been used, all the important things that you need to know, so you can track when to take a kill out, when to CC a target. It's very helpful. It's an audio reference as opposed to a visual reference that the next one offers. So moving on to the next one, which is Gladius EX, and this one is a must-have for arenas. Let me just go to my interface here and open it up for you. Gladius EX. Now if we go testing, 2v2, 3v3, and you can see 5v5. So let's just stick with 2v2. So on the left here, you see this bar ticking down. That's your diminishing returns, DRs as people call it. And that's simply, for people that don't know, is let's say your teammate has stunned a target and it'll start ticking down. That means it's got a certain amount of time before it can be have another full effect. So let's say my Feral Druid has stunned the healer and then I want to go in with a binding shot. Now, he's already stunned it, so he got the full stun out. I'll only get half a stun, and then it's a quarter, and then it's immune. So this allows you to see how long until that DR has fallen off to get another full duration. That's something to keep an eye out for. Under here is the enemy's cooldowns. For example, here, like we've got the mage's ice block. You'll be able to see when they've used ice block. Not so much when they've used ice block, but if ice block is back up and available. So it's something to look for, especially if you're going for a kill. You want to make sure that you've forced all their coolies out. Once their cooldowns are done, you'll know then that they're an open target to be destroyed. It's essentially, it's really good for like healers to see when all their healing cooldowns have been used. And once that's done, once you know that they've got no more cooldowns to use, and you force the DPS's cooldowns like the ice block and whatnot, you can then, with your team, set up a kill by, CCing the healer and taking out the mage in this instance. And moving on to the right-hand side here, which leads on to what I've just said, is their trinket. So you can see when they've used their trinket and how long until their trinket is back up, which is great for arranging a kill. So you can see if the healer's popped his trinket, you can say to your teammates, look, healer's just trinketed, let's CC him out and force another cooldown or take a kill out. Really good for, tracking those that important information in arenas. Now, the next one, moving right along. Oh, also, this can be fully customizable. Where is it? Yeah, you can make it do whatever you want, really. So if you just go down to your arena panel here, you've got all these different things here. You can just click on whichever one you want, and then you can make it big, small, change the colors, do whatever you want, whatever suits you. You can get rid of all the stuff that if you don't want it, you can get rid of their, resource bar. Whatever you want to do, it's totally up to you. That rhymed. All right, moving on to the next one here. Healers Have to Die is more of a Battleground one. It simply just puts a big plus sign above all the healers on the battlefield. More of a visual reference, easy to see when you're in the big fray, like you might have seen in some of my Battleground videos. You might have seen it above their head. It just allows you to have a quick look of who is a healer. So if you don't have Battleground targets up here and you've got this on, or maybe Battleground targets is bugged out, you'll be able to see, oh look, there's a healer, I'm going to focus that healer. And that's basically all it really does. And as you can see there, that's quite a good description they've put on there. All right, moving on. OmniCC, it's just a cooldown tracker. Let me just go over to my famous training dummy to show you what I mean. Over here. So as you can see, another thing, see my action bar pops up as soon as I get into combat. So let's just say I use kill command. As you can see, it puts a timer there with a cooldown rotation effect thing. Just allows you to see what's going on and how long until. So if I trap him out over there, bloop, you can see I've got a timer down. Now that timer there is actually a part of another add-on, but for your actions here, you can see, all right, I've got 3 seconds until the kill command comes back up. Stuff like that, which is pretty good. Move back. The next one is, where are we? OmniCC config. So that's, obviously configuration for OmniCC. Plate buffs. Plate buffs is a really good add-on to use if you're using tidy plates. Now, there was a bug when 6.2 came around. Tidy plates didn't work for some reason. It just stopped. And so maybe something the developers didn't cater for. I don't know. But I think there is a fix for it now. I haven't actually reinstalled it. I've actually just been using plate buffs with just the normal, the normal Blizzard interface target thing. The bars above the head. That's what it is. And essentially plate buffs just brings up a, you know, the debuff on the target. So if you're so if you've slept a healer, it is, instead of just seeing the effects just here, it'll have a big sign above their head. You might have seen it in some of my arena videos and whatnot. I don't think I've got anything I can really show you on here. But let's say you're with a druid and the druid's cloned a target. You'll actually be able to see above their head a big clone icon. Now this is customizable too. This is the main reason I chose it, is because Tidy Plates has its own buffs and debuffs tracker, but Plate Buffs allows you to customize the actual size of the debuff. So I don't know if I can do it on this big fella here. I might actually probably kill him, I don't know. But let's have a look. I don't know if it'll... No, it doesn't look like it's going to work, unless I can trap him. No, doesn't look like it's working on this guy. But anyway, that's basically what it does. Have a look at some of my arena videos if you want to actually see it in action. I'm pretty sure it comes up in those videos there. I'm not 100% sure. But, oh, and by the way, you want to make sure that you stop testing for that. So that's what that does. So if I go into the interface and go to plate buffs, if it's going to come up here, plate buffs, you can actually set the size and actually add in specific spells you want to track. You know, the default spells are here. You can have them in where you want them above the, you want it above the plate, you want it below the plate, whatever you want to do, you can actually customize it yourself. And this is one of the reasons I actually took this, because there's certain spells that I want to track and certain spells that I don't really care about. It's just, obviously I want to know how long they're CC'd. Once again, visual reference. You have a look over at the healer, you can actually see a big clone symbol or a trap symbol or a whatnot. You know, that in saying that, Gladius EX actually does that for you too. It'll actually show you their icon will change to what CC they're in. So, but this is just another visual aid that I like to have. Now, if you have any questions about these add-ons and how to set it up, just hit me up in the comment section and I'll help you set that up. I can do another video on it. Postal is just a basic, it's a mailbox add-on really. It's just a simpler way of managing your mailbox. It allows you to, especially if you're a crazy auction house junkie like I used to be. I used to ride the auction house a lot. I've been pretty slow these days because obviously I've got work and everything, all that you know, life stuff. And so if you go over to your mailbox, you can see you can actually select what you want. Sending mail is a lot easier too. You can select alts, whatever alts you have, you can select that. You can select anyone in your guild. 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 blah. Just click on their name, especially if those ones have special characters in them, like I do. And instead of having to find the ASCII character for it and alt and 1, 2, 3 or whatever, you can just go to the mailbox, click on their name, boom. And once if you've sent them, let's say you want to trade with someone that isn't in your guild or it's not your alt, as soon as you've traded with them or sent them a mail once, it'll always be there for you to do again and again and again. That's just a nifty one that I liked, especially when I'm getting all new enchants and stuff, and you're able to select a bunch of you know, mails that you had and just open them all at once. Where are we? Add-ons. Scada is this thing down here. You can have that or whatever the other one is. I can't remember. But this one just allows you to track whatever you want. I just do it to see how my burst in that is going, just to, you know, see if I've made any improvements or not improvements. So this PvP dummy. So this, when you get a Gladiator Sanctum, guys, and if you don't know, that this dummy here is actually a PvP dummy. So when you hit it, you actually go into a PvP scenario. So everything, if you look at my health here, right, I'll just burst him down. Damage for current fight. So watch. When I engage him, see my life? It's going up. It's saying that I'm actually in a PvP situation now. So, you know, that's something to remember too. If you want to test your burst and whatnot in, you know, out of arenas, you just come here and hit this guy up. So yeah, obviously you can see it's tracked my damage, and you can do it for healing. You can do it, but you know, I just have it for RPGs and stuff to see who's doing what. You know, just a trivial thing, but it's pretty cool. Okay, so what are we on to now? Tell me when. Tell me when is this stuff here. So if we get out of this, see this, all these cooldowns here. So if I go TMW in the chat there, it'll bring up this interface. Now I've used it to track my cooldowns here. So if I click on one, here, this brings up this interface to set cooldowns. So for example, I like to track when my trinkets and weapon buff procs, so that way I know when to burst, so get the absolute most damage for burst. And this is it. So you can type in the spell. Obviously up here you've got to select what you want. So in this case it's a buff, but you can see you can track a lot of different things. Shamans can track their totems, spell cooldowns, item cooldowns, whatever you want really. And in this case it's the Hermit's Heartseeker, which is my weapons add-on enchant. I want to know when that procs, along with my my off-use trinket. So we're tracking the player, which is obviously yourself, but you can track your target, your teammates, whatever you want. It comes up with a buff. I only set the show to timer and to show timer text, so that way it'll tell me how long I've got until it's off. You'll see this a lot popping up when in my PvP situations, but you can set notifications here. In this case, I've gone and added a notification. I like an action border, activation border, and that's that, you know, when it pops, let's see if I can get it to pop for you. When it pops, it just shows that highlighted area. So right here, see, this is my off-use trinket, so you can see the border around it. It's just, once again, a visual reference. There you go, my Heartseeker's just popped, so you can see how long I've got for it. So that shows me, alright, I've got 8 seconds on both of those. Got to go hard, 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 hard. And then when it falls off, you know that that's not off, or not on anymore, so that way you can wait for it to come back around. And down here, same deal. I've tracked my cooldown, so I've shot a trap off. This shows me how long I've got left on a trap, so that way I'm not wasting time trying to trap people. You know, and I'm like, oh, where's my trap? Where's my trap? How long has it got? And you stand there trying to get a trap out. This shows me, I can quickly look down here and go, all right, cool. I've got 14 seconds left on trap. I'll keep going hard and be able to tell you, all right, guys, I've got 10 seconds left on my trap, to help you communicate with your teammates. Obviously, this is my kick. I can kick that. Guys, I can't kick for another 20 seconds. All right, that way you can line up your CCs. All right, guys, my trap just come off cooldown. Ready? I'm going to trap him out now. Bam, bam, bam. There you go. And that's why I use these things, and you see these things here. It's just, I like to have a good visual reference. It helps me with my communication in arenas, and that's really important if you want to do well in arenas. Have good communication with your teammates. What else do I have here? Obviously, you have the options, and that brings us to the end of the add-ons that I have used recently. You can see I've got a ton of other ones. These have been here for ages. Things that I've picked up along the line to see what I like. Actually, sorry, that's not the end, and I missed one. Missed two right here. So bad. I'm so sorry, guys. Quartz. This is actually quite a good one. Quartz is a fancy cast bar add-on. Quartz. Here, right, so if we go toggle bar, okay, so you can set the different sizes for your cast bars and do whatever you want. You can track global cooldown, you can track whatever you want really that's involved with a cast bar or an activation bar. You can see here that I've got my cast bar up here. I didn't want it big, I just wanted it out the way so I can sort of have an idea of what I'm casting, but not in my face. Here is my target's cast bar, which is a little bit bigger. Come back here, pet. Where you going? Just a little bit bigger, so I can see, let's say I'm focusing someone and they're about to, you know, do a spell. I have it big there, not too big because my action bars, the plates above their head actually show the cast bar as well. So I just have it there just in case. Now, my main one that I use, if you look down here, is my focus. I keep that right in front of my face for when I focus a healer. It helps me gauge how long they've got in the middle of a cast or whatever, so I can kick them effectively. It saves me having to look over at their bar or at their, over here at Gladius or actually at their plate. It just gives me a visual reference, so that way, if they're casting, I've got them on focus, and I can just wait until, I usually like to wait until their cast is about, hit my body or over here. Unless you're super fast and you can kick them at like the first millisecond. But usually when you get into higher rated arenas, a lot of people, especially those sort of healers, have practiced their, their juking and stuff like that. They'll be able to go, they can fake cast really well. So I wait. All right. Usually they'll go 1, 2, and as soon as it gets to about here onwards, that's when I give them a kick. Because that way I know that I've tried, and bam. And that will help lining up, once again, the kill. And obviously, that I like my visual references. And now, the last one. Sorry about that, guys. This is my sexy map. And that is just this thing. Why do I have it, you ask? It's just because it's sexy. And you can move stuff. And that is pretty much the only reason. Yeah, okay. And that brings me to the end now. This is the real end, not like that fake end that almost got me fired. Okay, so that's just my quick add-on guide, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, hey, and I will be more than happy to help you set them up. If you want me to do another guide on more in depth, how do you customize your add-ons, let me know. Just talk to me, guys. I'm more than happy to help anyone out that asks me for help. And but yeah, if you enjoyed the guide, guys, hit up that like button. I mean, just smash the crap out of that like button, guys. Leave a comment down below, talk to me, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe for more of these guides, gameplays, and all that cool stuff you guys wanna see. And until then, guys, I'm Ravenclaw. Thanks so much for watching.